Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video, which you can already tell by the title is my full coverage flawless foundation routine using Drugstore products. So this routine will cover everything. It will cover acne, it will cover redness, it'll help sort of smooth your pores out, any discoloration, anything like that. But I'm going to stop rambling. So if you guys want to learn my full coverage flawless face foundation routine, gosh, that's such a mouthful, then please keep on watching. Okay, so obviously we want to start out by priming our skin, getting it ready for foundation, and my favorite Drugstore primer to do that is the L'Oreal Lumi Magique primer. Now this primer is really good because not only does it help my makeup stay in place all day long, but it also gives my skin a really nice natural healthy glow. So yeah, I'm going to start off by applying this. I typically just use my fingers, but if you want to use a paddle brush or whatever you like, then go ahead. I just find it's a little bit quicker using my fingers, that's all basically. Now you can see here while I'm applying it, it makes my skin really shiny. Now, it is worth mentioning I am an oily skin type. I have quite oily skin, but I can still use this primer and it doesn't, you know, make me look like a greasy mess by, you know, sort of after a couple of hours, where it still works really, really well. Okay, so the Drugstore foundation that I have been obsessing over is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I've loved this one for about 18 months now, ever since that it came onto the market. It is amazing. Obviously, again, I'm an oily skin girl, so for those of you with dry skin, this might not be your number one holy grail, but this currently is mine. Another foundation that I do really love also is the Revlon Color Stay Foundation. So both of these will give you all day wear. They will give you medium to full coverage without looking cakey, and they will stop you from looking like a hot oily mess. So these are my two favorite foundations. This one a little bit more than this one, so I'm going to use this one today. And for anyone wondering, I am in the color 106 Sun Beige for this one. Now what I like to do is actually pop this on the back of my hand. I don't sort of go directly in on the face to apply it. And then I take a flat kabuki brush and I just sort of dab the product all over my face, sort of stippling it on. I don't go sort of straight in and blend it, kind of like distribute it first. That way you're going to get an even coverage over the whole face. You're not going to have some places that are really high coverage and others that are missing coverage. And then basically after that, I just sort of use stippling and circular motions to blend that product into the skin. Now because this is a long wearing foundation and it is sort of like a demi matte finish, you are going to want to work quite quickly with this. Otherwise, you'll find that it will start to set on your skin. Another great thing that you can do with this also is use a damp beauty blender sponge. That will give you a little bit longer to sort of work with the product and apply the product than a dry brush would, because it's also sort of dispersing like a moisture sort of a thing onto the skin. I always take extra time and care to sort of get it right up into my hairline as well, especially because I'm a self-tanner and my neck is so much darker than my face. My hairline can look quite pale, and if you don't blend it properly around the hairline, you're gonna look kind of crazy. And also my ears, and I bring it sort of just underneath my chin down onto my neck so that I don't get any lines of demarcation as well. Okay, I'm going to go in with a concealer now. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. You guys know that this is a long-standing favorite of mine. I've used it for a very long time. It's very similar to the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's got really great coverage and it's very comfortable to wear all day long. Now today I'm actually using the color Light. I normally use the color Sand, but I want to do a little bit of highlighting with this foundation routine, so using one shade lighter than my natural color. So I'm going to pop this one just underneath the eyes. You can see from me applying it, it's super creamy. It blends out really easily. Down the center of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, on my chin. Probably pop a little bit more here and here as well. And then I'm going to take a small brush to blend it out. This is one by Sigma. It is their concealer, so Soft Blend Concealer F64 brush. And I'm just going to gently, and sort of using like sort of touchy swipey motions. I'm not like dragging the product, I'm sort of just like flicking at it. Sort of slowly going to start to blend that out underneath the eye area. Now if you're having trouble blending it out in your eyeshadow, sort of under here, just use a clean fingertip and just dab it into the skin. That'll sort of help to soften out any edges and anything like that. Also, if you've got quite dark areas on your tear duct, sort of in the center of your eyes here, you can pop a little bit in there as well. That'll just help to sort of brighten it up. All right, down to the chin. Now it blends out so easy, as you can see. I wasn't fibbing, I was telling the truth. And then I'm going to switch brushes now. I'm going to go back to my foundation brush and just sort of use stippling motions again, just to really carefully blend out any excess lines. You don't want any lines in your foundation. Make sure that you do take the time to do this, otherwise you know what's going to happen. Now moving on to powder, I'm going to use the Maybelline Matte Makeup Powder. Obviously you guys know I'm an oily skin type, and this powder gives me a really natural sort of matte finish all day long without looking cakey and without breaking up all over my face. Now just taking a big powder brush, I'm only taking a very small amount of that powder because otherwise you can kind of end up looking like a mask. You want your skin to stay matte, but you don't want it to be completely matte and have no shine to it at all, because it can, I don't know, you can sort of start looking really fake kind of. I'm just using a small amount of that powder, making sure to properly set under the eyes, because that is the sort of the first place where you're going to get super oily and you're going to get it breaking up and settling into fine lines. So just set the face lightly with that, and then we're ready to move on to contouring. Now my absolute all-time favorite drugstore product for contouring is the Sleek by 3 Face Trio. I use the color 374 medium, and as you can see, this is a palette that comes with a contour, a bronzer, and a highlighter in the middle there. This stuff is so affordable. I think this palette cost me maybe $10, probably even less. There's so many different places you can buy it. Even here in Australia, there are so many online sites that you can buy them. I will have all of that information down below, but this is my all-time favorite product for everyday, flawless, full face routine. I will always use this. So taking an angled brush now, I'm going to start off with the sort of matte contour shade. Picking up a tiny bit. Now do beware, this product goes a very long way, so you've got to use a really, really light hand. Taking up a little bit on that brush, I'm going to start sort of just chiseling out my cheekbones very, very lightly, starting at my ear and sort of sweeping the way down. If you start here and, you know, go back up there, you're going to get like this really chunky sort of look to your contour, and it's not going to look natural. Now, you can make your contour as light or as dark as you want. It's all personal preference. I will have a full contour series coming up, teaching you step by step powder contour, cream contour, all of the different things, strobing even. But yeah, all of that information will be in that video series later on. As you can see, I'm just taking my time to sort of gently carve out my cheekbone, and it just makes a huge difference to the face. I do contour on a daily basis, but honestly, it takes 30 seconds. It's not going to take you a long time to do it. A little bit in the temple area here, not too much, only a very small amount. And then also a little bit on the other side. Okay, so once I'm done with that contour shade, I'm actually now going to take the bronzing color from the palette, and I'm using a tapered face brush. This is by Sigma. I'm picking up a very small amount of that bronzer on the end of the brush. I'm actually going to just gently run it right above where we have applied that contour, and you can see it adds a little bit of a natural color to the skin. And I slowly build up that color, sweeping it sort of from just sort of I would say the top half of the apples of the cheekbone. I don't like to put it sort of over the whole apple of my cheekbone. It doesn't suit my face shape. But yeah, I will sort of start about here, and then I sweep it up towards the temple and blend it up sort of beside the eyebrow just a little bit as well. Now to actually highlight and add a little bit more color to my cheeks, I'm taking this Revlon highlighting palette. I absolutely love these. They do come in different shades. This one is the Rose Glow. You can see it's sort of pinky, and it's got a mixture of blushes and highlighters in there. This stuff is amazing, honestly, best drugstore highlighter ever. Taking that same brush, I'm going to sort of sweep it around that palette, pick up the product on the end of the brush, and then sort of gently just sort of sweep it across the cheeks. If you want a precise highlighter, you can take a smaller brush and just sort of use like one of these shimmery panels. But I like the look that it gives just from, you know, using the whole part on the cheeks. And like, look at that glow it gives me. It's insane. I do that to both cheeks. Now, on an everyday basis, I don't highlight anywhere else on my face. I don't really need it. I'm an oily skin type and I don't need it, but you could take a little bit of this down the bridge of the nose and like on the cupid's bow as well. So it's completely up to you. Okay, so once that is done, I am up to lips. So I'm going to quickly go pop some lipstick on and I'll be right back. Okay, lips are on, and that essentially finishes the whole tutorial. You can finish with a setting spray, and I do really like the NYX matte setting spray, but I don't have any left. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know your thoughts down below and what products you include in your flawless foundation routine. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye! Hey guys, so today's video is a step-by-step tutorial on how to cover acne and redness. I struggled with acne all through high school and my teen years. I promise you there is a light at the end of the